Hey, what's up everyone, Ollie here. So as part of my upcoming PC build, I've obviously been trying to figure out the parts and things that I want for that PC build. One of those parts is the keyboard. I posted this keyboard on Instagram the other day and it got a lot of attention, so I just naturally thought it would be worth doing a separate video on it rather than including it into my one PC build video. But I ended up going with the Keychron K2. So this keyboard is obviously a mechanical keyboard. I don't actually know too much about mechanical keyboards. I've kind of just been learning as I go along, but I was researching mechanical keyboards. I saw so many different ones online. There are some really nice ones out there, ones that can be machined from aluminium and like gold plated, all these crazy different things that you can get. But I wanted to stick to a budget of less than $100, so I ended up going with this one, the Keychron K2. And obviously I wanted it to look good. I wanted it to have a nice sort of minimalist style, have a nice aesthetic, have a nice sort of look to it. So, you know, I went with this one. The keyboard itself is only $69, and then I paid $19 on top for shipping, which I didn't think is too bad. $88 for a mechanical keyboard, which looks this great. I think seemed pretty worth it. It seemed quite good value for money. So I went with it, and it took around 1 or 2 weeks to get to me because I think it's shipped from China as far as I can tell. So yeah, you know, depending on where you are in the world, it might take a bit longer, it might even get to you quicker, but for me it took around 1 or 2 weeks. You know, I'm in the UK, so from China to the UK in 1 or 2 weeks is actually pretty quick. You know, I've had shipments from China take a lot longer than that. The box it came in is pretty simple, nothing too fancy. It's just a cardboard box. Inside you get a USB-C to USB cable, which is fantastic. You also get some extra keys because this keyboard can actually work with Windows and Mac, so you can change the keys if you like. You also get a tool so that it makes it easy to take keys off the keyboard, and obviously you get some documentation and stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much it in the box. The setup guide that came with the keyboard is actually fantastic. It's very easy to read, very easy to understand, and just makes it easy to work out how to turn on the keyboard, how to set it up, how to figure out the lighting, all that sort of stuff. So I went with the standard white LED version. I didn't want to go for unicorn vomit, so I didn't go with the RGB one. So yeah, I just wanted the standard white LED just because I think it looks cleaner. I'm not too fussed about having all these different fancy colors going on. When you purchase the keyboard, you also get to choose the switches that come with it. I went with red switches. Main reason for going with red switches was because they're some of the quietest. So yeah, I just wanted something that was quiet because mechanical keyboards can get loud. The keyboard itself was actually surprisingly thick. I guess this is to be expected because it is a mechanical keyboard, but when I compare it to the Apple keyboard that I've been using for the last 8-9 years, you know, I've gotten used to this thinness of that keyboard. I've gotten used to using that keyboard, so using something as big as this was quite surprising and quite, you know, there was a learning curve for sure. So yeah, it's definitely a very thick keyboard. On the side of the keyboard there is a port to charge it, of course, the USB-C port. There's also a toggle to switch between Windows and Mac. There's also a label for Android and iOS, but basically the same thing. And there's also a toggle to switch between Bluetooth, off, and cable. I personally absolutely love the look of the keyboard. I love the grey switches, the two-tone sort of grey switches. I think they look fantastic. That's, you know, one of the primary reasons why I went with it, just because of that minimalist style. I also really like the orange escape key. I think it just sets off the keyboard really nicely and just adds a little bit of pop to the keyboard. At first I wasn't too sure about it, but once I got it, I actually really like it. But if you don't like it, they do actually provide a grey escape key. So you can get rid of the orange completely and just have it completely grey. So I've been using this keyboard with my Mac, and I love how the keyboard has been pretty much tailored to a Mac. You can of course change the keys to have Windows keys, but I love how the top row has things like the brightness adjustment, the volume adjustment, things like that. You know, they are things that I love about the Mac keyboard. Just makes it easy to, you know, adjust the display of my iMac screen and change songs whenever I need to. With this being my first mechanical keyboard, there was definitely a learning curve. I don't think I've still completely gotten used to it, but you know, because I've gotten used to the very thin Apple keyboard that you get, you know, I found, you know, I've just gotten used to it and I can type very quickly. With this, you know, because I'm learning it, I haven't got up to speed with it yet. I think it's going to take me maybe even like a month or two to really get the hang of it, but I'm getting there, and I completely get why people like mechanical keyboards. You know, there's a lot more travel when you use the keys themselves. There's also a lot more tactility, so you know, you can feel the keys a lot better under your fingers, and I think those sorts of things really make a difference when it comes to typing for a lot of people. The keys themselves also have a nice curve to them, so your fingers just naturally rest on top of the keys. As I mentioned earlier, I went with the white LED version, and Keychron have actually programmed quite a few nice little LED sort of tricks within the keyboard. By pressing the bulb key on the top right of the keyboard, you can switch between various different sort of LED sort of light animation modes, you could say, and there is a lot. There's no way I'm going to be able to show them all in this video, but there are some really nice neat ones, and it's just a good way to add a little bit of flair to the keyboard. I mean, I'm not too fussed. I can't see myself using them too often, but I can completely get why other people would like them and why other people would be fascinated by them, because, you know, it's just a nice little party trick. I think it's a nice little touch to the keyboard itself. Other than that, I'm actually pretty happy with my purchase. I think for $88, I think I paid in total, including shipping. I actually think that's very affordable for a mechanical keyboard, especially when you look at some other keyboards from like Apple and Logitech and some others which cost more than $100. You know, for something like this, I think it's actually good value for money. I can't wait to get my PC build done, because obviously that keyboard will be part of that build. So make sure to subscribe for that, because that will be coming in the next 2 or 3 months. I'm just waiting for parts to come in and stuff. There's a lot more things that I need to sort out before I get it done, but yeah, that will definitely be coming. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.